All right. Welcome back to the Mid-Range Podcast. It's week 2 of college basketball in the
Welcome
books.
back.
The second weekend is complete. I'm here with my good friend and co-host Nick Geramonte.
We're back.
Nick, how you
Let's
doing?
go. Doing
We're
amazing.
back.
Feast week is almost here. Here we are.
Yeah.
Another great week in
Here
the
we are.
books. Here
Another
we
good one for
are.
sure. Here we
Yeah.
are.
I'm fired up.
Uh, I'm fired
Thanks
up
for
as
having
well.
me.
I will say it's been a fun first couple weeks of college ball.
Very.
There's definitely been a lot of excitement. I was telling Bryce on Thursday's episode. I don't mind a little. I don't mind that it's not 5 ranked games every night. I like having one game to focus on most nights, one or two that are interesting, and kind of getting to learn about all these teams before feast week begins.
Yeah,
But
but
let's just get
like
into it, Nick.
as a
Oh, go
sport,
ahead.
um, as a sport, we do need more ranked games to start the year. I think just to start off with more of
You
a
think so?
bang, because like nobody cares about college basketball right now when there's football
Right.
on and there's a little bit of NBA in there and NHL. Like college basketball just gets swept under the rug, and the only way to have some attention with the sport is to be able to have way more ranked matchups, which I agree with you. Like from people who actually watch college basketball, like I personally don't mind it, but to be able to grow the sport and kind of get more eyes on it, I think it would be um, smart to have more of that stuff early on. And like we used to have the Champions Classic, which is coming up today as we record this to start the season. Like I don't know why we moved that.
Yeah.
So just throwing my 2 cents out there.
The Champions Classic. Yeah. No, that's fair, Nick. I guess I just in my head it's like, all right, you give the first couple weeks so we can, guys like us that will actually watch college basketball can sit around and create our opinions about these teams so that once other people start watching on feast week or once football ends, you're a little
Yeah.
ahead of the curve. I guess I kind of like being a little ahead of it, but that is true. If they
Yeah,
want to
like
blow
most
it
people
up,
don't watch till after the Super Bowl. Like
yeah,
in
realistically, yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
like it's
realistically, most people don't watch until March Madness, but
yeah,
like it
like
is
Champ Week and March Madness exactly.
yeah,
So, like if you want to try to drive some more people in, you can't expect them to watch,
yeah,
all these bye games early on in the year.
yeah. It is excessive. I mean, Ohio State had like 4 of them. Like the Ohio State for schedule before they get into conference play is absurdly easy. But we'll get more into Ohio State later. Yeah, you're probably right. But let's talk about a game that was a top 10 matchup with Purdue, Braden Smith, Matt Painter, TKR go down to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, take on the Crimson Tide, who beat St. John's a week ago, and they take down Alabama in Alabama. I think the story of the game was TKR and Braden Smith just being insanely good. Braden Smith with 29 points, five threes in the game. Trey Kaufman-Renn 19 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists. I know he shot absurdly efficient. Let me see if I can get that here. 9 of 16 from the field. There was some stat that it was like the first time someone had what? It was 19, 15, and 5 against a top 10 opponent away since like Tim Duncan or something crazy like that. I mean, those guys showed you that Purdue's top end talent is legit. What did you think about Purdue headed down to Alabama last Thursday, Nick?
Yeah, I'm all in on Purdue. It was
Yeah.
There's a little thing at the start of the year where they struggled a little bit more than they probably should have, and people kind of jumped the gun on that. But it just goes to show that TKR's, an All-American, and getting that guy back
Yeah.
helps a lot.
It's
Um,
unreal.
like there's no real weaknesses with this team outside of maybe depth. Like if something happens to one of these players injury wise, like they may not be able to recover from that. But if they're healthy, like they should be the number one team in the nation. Braden Smith is the best player in the nation. TKR is one of the best fours, and
Yeah.
Clough has really kind of found a stride in that fit there. And obviously, Lawyer is a very consistent
Superstar.
role player who can have the ability to put up 30 points any night, one of the best shooters in the country. So this Purdue team isn't even that great this year. Like, they could be historically great. I think they have the opportunity to have the highest offensive rating in the Ken Palm era, which is unbelievable. I think Duke said it last year, and I think before that it was 2015 Wisconsin. Like, they're right up there where you
Yeah.
look at all these, again, the guys I just named, C.J. Cox and more. Like, it's pretty unbelievable the talent of this crew. And I don't even take down Bama really at all, because Purdue is just that good.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I was tweeting about this at the time, and I was even watching the game. I'm a self-proclaimed Purdue hater. Obviously, I think that's common knowledge on this at this point. I don't like Purdue. I don't like to root for Purdue, and watching Purdue and rooting against Braden Smith, especially, might be the most futile, infuriating thing. Like, you're just watching the guy come up the court, make the right decision every single time. Make the right decision every single time. It's absurd how smart he is and how well he plays the game. I mean, he really is like, he doesn't make any mistakes. Like, he just comes up the court, does the exact right thing, takes the right shot. You don't know if it's going to go in necessarily, but he's going to get there. I mean, he's insane. I think the only question mark for Alabama, and I know you're a guy who loves this guy, but Phylon, 5 of 14, he finishes with 11 points and 7 assists, 4 turnovers. I think 5 of 14, those last 4 buckets probably came close to the end of the game, because I believe he was, one for 10 at one point.
12, I think.
Yeah. Nick, what do you think here with Phylon? I know he's your guy. You have him All-American stature. Is this something that you're worried about for him, or you think just an off game on a big night?
Yeah, it's early on in the season, and he's in a new role. He's in the Mark Sears role, and he had a great game.
Yeah. I thought he was getting open shots too.
Yeah, I mean, just eye test wise, he's a bucket, and he's an NBA player. It's one of those things where, you just have off nights sometimes, and but continuing the play from Holloway, where he's kind of taking that next step, and it's good to see that again. Like, Purdue's the number one team in the nation for a reason, and I'm not really gonna sell any stock on Bama. Like, I'm not thinking Bama's top 5 team, but I'm still gonna to hold stock on Phylon being an All-American and Player of the Year contender, and Bama being, I don't know, probably a top 5 seed in the NCAA tournament.
Definitely. And, it's tough to go into an away crowd in the state of Alabama and win a game, take control in a game like this, as we saw with another top team going down to Alabama and playing Alabama's rival. We'll get to that later. Alabama, I think, this is going to be a tough game for Alabama, just in the fact, like, they're going to want to play fast and they're going to want to go offense, and Purdue's going to be the best in the country at that game. So if you're trying to run and you're trying to outrun Purdue, or you're trying to outplay Purdue on the offensive side of the ball, I say good luck, because they are really incredible offensively. And, like, I don't know. I still do have questions with their defense. I don't think it's looked good through the first 4 games here. I don't think it looked great against Alabama. But, like, man, Braden Smith is the best player in the country, and Trey Kaufman-Renn might be a top 5, top 10 player in the country right along with him. And just all these role guys surrounding them. Purdue has, like, validated the fact that they are a top 2, top 3, if not the best team in the country. And definitely, and we can talk a little about some other teams in the conference, but I think Purdue is unquestionably the cream of the crop. And I think people we're probably, including me, we're a little too quick to write them off after they beat Oakland by 10 instead of 40 or whatever. I don't know.
Again, without like you mentioned, a top 5, top 10 player in the nation.
Yeah.
But yeah, they got him back, and he's
All
good.
right, Nick. Let's move on to a game that was very personally invested in. I was very excited about, and I came away a little disappointed with a squad I had high hopes for this season. Michigan TCU. You got Michigan
Whoa,
coming down to Fort Worth for
get into
a
it.
power conference game. Michigan, Lendenberg, 14 points, 10 boards, 4 assists, 3 blocks. The Michigan defense was definitely hounding, but, you know, as good as that defense was, Michigan turns the ball over 22 times in this game. TCU
Hell yeah, they
might
did.
have been just as ferocious on the defensive end of this ball. I mean, this was not a pretty game. Uh, Nick, I know you were in the building.
It
What did you
was.
see? What did you see from Michigan? What did you see from TCU? What did this game tell you?
Yeah, it's it's such a funny matchup because TCU is already very undersized coming into the year, and then obviously we talked about it. They lose their starting center for the season, so that just makes it even more difficult. So you're playing, a 6'9" JUCO guy at the 5, and your
Yeah,
backup's a guy who really hasn't played big time ball. And then you look on the opposing side, and it's Michigan, and it's every big. Like, that's all they
yeah, they're
have is
huge.
really big. So it's just
Yeah,
this insanely different matchup, and you saw it with the rebounding numbers. TCU got out rebounded by
yeah,
21. It's one of the worst in recent history for the Frogs. So, but their game plan was honestly really good for what they
yeah.
wanted to do. Like, Dixon obviously had a plan coming in where he was going to force these bigs of Yaxel and Morez and Mara. If they get it in the short corner, you double that and kind of force them to make skip passes and then kind of force their guards to make plays. And that's the weakness of the Michigan team is that they don't have a point guard. Or I guess Elliot Cadeau is one, but he was off this game and he's really been inconsistent for the majority of his college career. So it's scary for
Definitely.
sure for the Michigan side, but this was just talent won out. Like TCU probably should have won this game if they just made a few more
I mean,
shots, and
yeah,
they even had a look late in the game with Toulson baseline that he probably should have made. Again, there's no moral victories, but Michigan's a much more talented team than TCU, and I think when you have a loss to New Orleans at home in a bye game to start the season, you could really start to crumble. And to me, this showed just how together this team still is, and the fight was off the charts, and the environment
definitely.
was awesome. So I'm going to take that ahead of them. You can't have too many moral victories anymore because you put yourself in a hole being 2-2 to start the season. But so they're going to have some signature wins. But if they keep playing like this, like you can tell there's something with this team, and there's a reason to have remain hope in this team. Like Jaden Pierre needs to play better. David Punch needs to play better in these type of games. Like when you have limited talent, the guys that are talented need to play better, and they know that. But Brock Harding's a player that they didn't have last year, and to get elevated performances from Micah Robinson and guys like that is encouraging. So. Yeah, Michigan
Yeah,
obviously has worries, but I do legitimately think that TCU's game plan was a big reason that Michigan, had so many turnovers. And if they weren't
yeah.
all, 7 feet skilled big men, then I think TCU would have had a shot to win. They did.
Skilled. I mean,
Yeah,
is
Yaxel.
there any skill? Is he? I mean, like, yeah, he's a
I mean,
great
yeah,
player. Like,
he is pretty
he's an
good.
athlete that like is great defensively and is like athletic and physical and like is a dominant force. But there's no skill on Michigan. I mean, their guard play was
Yaxel's skill.
terrible. I mean, like he has skill in the sense of like, yes, he's a skilled basketball player, but like there is no ball handling. They need ball handling and they need like playmaking, and they just don't have it from anywhere. Like we had this talk about the pure point guard thing before the season. It's like I don't think you need a pure point guard, but you need someone who can control an offense. You need someone who can make the right pass and who can put the ball on the floor. And it just seemed like Michigan didn't have that at all. Like I don't understand. It doesn't even make sense to me how. And this is not even me trying to like shit on TCU. It's like TCU went in there and, like you said, should have won this game. They were in control of this game. If they hit two more shots down the stretch in that like pivotal last, like say like from that 7-minute to 3-minute mark where Michigan started kind of taking that lead, if TCU could have hit 1-3 in there, a couple layups, they could have easily won this game, and it would have been a massive upset for Dixon and the Frogs. But like, when you look at it after the game from a macro level, Michigan scraped by a TCU team that shot under 40% from the field. Like, that is... They shot under 40% from the field. They shot like 28% from three. They only made 7 of them. Like, this was not some incredible offensive outburst from TCU to go, like, force almost an upset against a top 10 team. This was like Michigan couldn't make a shot, and Michigan gave the ball away almost every time down the court. So, like, yes, I do agree that Yaxel is skilled, and, like, there's a lot of talent on this Michigan team, but they don't have anyone that can initiate. Like, I will say, like, I watched every second of this game dying for TCU to win. And, like,
hell yeah.
I have no faith in Michigan. Like, watching this game and, like, say what you will, and they go to overtime against Wake Forest earlier in the week, it's like, I have no confidence in this Michigan team. I think there's some conversations to be had in the Big Ten. Are they a top 5 team in the Big Ten at this point? In my head, going into the conference play, like, we'll see how it breaks down before that comes around. But, like, you can't. I just, like, the whole time I was just like, what? Why was this Michigan team a top 10 team? They can't create any offense. Elliot Cadeau, dude, is a non-factor. Like, he was. No, I mean, he goes out there as 3 points, 6 turnovers. He has 1 assist. Roddy Gale was their lead assister. I don't think Roddy Gale, like, not even just because he transferred from Ohio State, I just don't think he is a great creator at all. He's not a great initiator at all.
He was by far their best one.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's supposed to be your, like, third option on offense and a good defender. Like, to me, it just seems like Michigan isn't. They don't really. I don't even think Yaxel is a classic first option kind of guy on offense. He's really more of like a second option, just elite defensive kind of dude that, like, is going to be the best player on your team, but might not be your number one offensive guy. And they just don't have any offensive juice. So, like, I think it's going to be a lot on Trey McKinney, the freshman guard's shoulders coming down the stretch. If he can step up into a role of being like, I'm the guard, I'm the creator, I'm the initiator for this Michigan team, and I'm going to be the reason that this team makes a run. Or if Elliot Cadeau can wake up and turn into a player that he has not proven at all that he is at any level, I don't know. I like, and also we should talk about, while we're on this game, I mean, imagine if the Michigan Wolverines had Brock Harding. Like Brock Harding, honest to God, like, this is, like, you have TCU bias. I do not have TCU bias. Like, Brock Harding in this game was in control of everything. He is like a mini Braden Smith. Like, he literally does the right thing on every possession. Every time he had the ball in his hands in this game, I was like, TCU's going to get a good shot. TCU's going to get a good shot. And they did. They just kept missing them. Like, they just kept on missing good shots. And, like, Brock Harding is really good. Like, Brock Harding is an awesome player for TCU. And I don't know if it's going to come together for the Frogs this year. We'll see. I mean, I hope it does, for your sake. But Brock Harding, man, I assume he stays in college one more year. And look out for him to be a serious guy both this season and next season, whether it's for the Frogs or elsewhere. But I'm really pumped on Brock Harding. And Micah Robinson looked great, I thought. We were talking about this a little off camera, but when he steps into his shots with confidence, he is a really, really good player. And if he can just keep that mentality, he's going to be good. Layla Vicious had some moments, which was great because he'd been a little shaky through the first few games.
Yeah.
It was good to see him kind of step up and make some tough shots. He's funny to watch. I don't know, it's funny to watch. Like his
Yeah.
like movement is really strange. I
Yeah,
think.
it's not smooth. It's like he's got the build that's great of like being a 6'7" guy who can
Yeah.
like shoot and stuff like that. But yeah, it's nothing about his game is smooth. It's frustrating because like
So yeah.
right when one person elevates their play, it's like Pierre and Punch were some of the
Yeah.
best players early on in their play goes down. It's just I don't know. It's one of those things where offense is gonna be a struggle all year.
Do we want to have a Xavier Edmonds conversation here? The number one JUCO recruit in the country is like, I believe that's correct.
Yeah, yeah.
Goes to TCU, and with Malik Diallo down, I mean he is kind of playing essentially your starting center. Where are you at with Edmonds? What do you see with him? What do you think for him coming down the season? Is he your starter?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I actually really like Edmonds, and this isn't like I'm as high as Edmonds as anybody on this team.
Yeah.
He skill wise is he may not be a better big man right now, but his skill wise is better than Malik Diallo.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's probably unfair to him that he's forced to play the five and kind of be this center that's so dependent on because you come into this year you expected to kind of be a backup guy who can be a spark off the bench and kind of transition well from JUCO to D1, and he's being asked to do a lot, and he was very good through the first 3 games. And it's unfortunate that he didn't play as well again on a primetime stage.
Yeah.
But it was against, again, like 7'3" Mara and Yaxel's NBA
Yeah.
player. And like this Michigan front court so well, and he's, again, being thrust into the system so early. So it's just a super
I mean, I
tough
actually,
match.
I will say, I mean, I was critical of him when we were talking, but he did not do a bad job on some of these guys if you're really like looking back at it from the whole game perspective. I mean, he plays 20 minutes, 4 points, 3 rebounds. He goes 2 blocks, 3 steals, and he's a +6 on the game, which was TCU's second best plus minus. So I will say, like, I think he was better maybe than I gave him credit for, because I think he just had a couple of, let's say, like, it just seemed like maybe like low effort moments when they really needed like somebody to buckle down, and that really just stood out to me. But I think I was probably a little harsh on him in that he's gonna, I mean, the fact of the matter is,
Really good player.
yeah, and he has to be for TCU to be to make a run here, whether that means going to the tournament, which might be lofty expectations at this point, but I won't count them out if they can if a top 10 team is coming into Fort Worth and is only coming out with a 4-point win when TCU shoots like shit, then like they might be better than we think, and you can't write them off too soon.
Yeah, no. I got a chance to talk to X a little bit after games and stuff like that, and he's just a super good dude that I think is meshing well with the culture here. Which sounds so corny, but like in college, I feel like that kind of is a big thing where you can buy into what your coach is trying to do and play together. So that's what I love to see out of this team, because last season's TCU team, not to do too much TCU talk, but was the effort was a question at times, and the contingency was a question, and all that kind of stuff. But with the effort they showed against Michigan, at least early on in the year, that's not a question mark for me. And like you mentioned, like Brock's just a dog, and when you have a guy with that
He's
energy,
ridiculous.
like when a guy brings that energy and is kind of your leader, I think that gravitates around him, and that was cool to see. So I'm excited to watch them play, because they have a tough stretch with 4 of the next 5 games being against pretty big time opponents.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But you know what? I mean, let's that gives them a chance to enter in a different type of conversation if they can rattle off a few wins against some better teams here.
Yeah, and they're gonna
So
need
credit
that.
to Dixon for scheduling difficult, because that is what you give yourself a chance to do when you play these big games early. You give your chance to climb back up coming into conference play here in a month. Okay, let's move along. It was a good TCU Michigan conversation. Let's go over to Los Angeles, where Arizona plays UCLA in the Intuit Dome. So Arizona, obviously coming into this game off of a big win in opening night, kind of was the darling, let's say, of the first week of college basketball. Koa Pete was the freshman hero, and everyone was like, "Oh man, Arizona! They beat Florida. Florida's top three. Arizona kind of enters that top five conversation right off the bat." They go into LA and it doesn't look pretty. They end up getting a win. They get a 4-point win here. Koa Pete does not play well. It's really more Del Orso, Bradley who lead the way for Arizona. Nick, what did you see here with Arizona versus UCLA?
Yeah, you knew I was super high on this Arizona team coming into the year,
Yeah.
and it's awesome because they've shown in the first 2 weeks that they can win in multiple ways. Where, your freshman in Burries and Koa Pete, like you mentioned, is kind of taking all the headlines. Like they were off this game, and then they were picked up by a guy in Jane Bradley who's taking that next step and is really turning into an amazing guard. And like you mentioned, Delhi off the bench is. He's a baller, and he coming over from Campbell last season, like he was a highly touted guy at the portal. I studied him a little bit because took a visit to TCU, but he was the guy at Campbell. I think he dropped close to 20 a game there.
Yeah, 2023,
and,
20 again.
Yeah, he's just a guy who can give that spark off the bench, and he did that here where a lot of these guys, like Krivas and Bradley and Delhi and Owaka, like they were there last year, and they've taken that next step where, Pete's still the guy, and Burries is still going to be, up there as well with being the 2 5-star freshmen that they got, but the contingency of the supporting cast, I think, is what really sold me coming into the year to go along with the star power, where they're more dependable. And yeah, Arizona's just a really damn good team, and I think that's super exciting.
And then UCLA, obviously, early on in the season, they kind of struggle a little bit with Eastern Washington. They only win by 6 points. Pepperdine, they only win by 11. And I think there was kind of some question about, is UCLA who we thought? Mick Cronin obviously fired himself, as we know. Donovan Dent maybe hadn't had his big night yet. And coming into this game, he doesn't necessarily have an incredible night. I mean, 11 points, 8 assists. He was obviously a great point guard and played great. But Bilodeau, 19 points on 7 of 10, 3 of 4 from 3. They shot great. They shot over 50% from 3 as a team on the game. It seemed like maybe UCLA was not that far from Arizona's level, despite the fact that they struggle a little in these bye games. But Nick, what did you see from UCLA that you liked? What did you see that maybe you didn't like so much?
Yeah, it's a lot of similar to last year's UCLA team, where it seemed like they didn't really have like Dent's supposed to be the guy, and he was one of the biggest transfers in the portal, and he just hasn't lived up to that expectation. And the problem is that with a lot of these guys coming back who aren't these stars, like it's a thing that a much smaller scale with Edmonds, but like it's a similar situation where like you have to be that guy to give them a chance. They're gonna be good, but there's just no depth to this team. They really run like 6 deep consistently, and like Trent Perry's a guy who's a very highly, I think, flipped from USC to UCLA last minute. A 5-star last season. It was supposed to be big time to take the next step. He hasn't really done that so far. And then guys like Sky Clark and Daly, who, are supposed to be good supporting cast. Like they're just missing that flash and that spark for me. Like it was good that they were competitive in this game, but being in, LA, like that's basically a home game for them. Like you should expect to win that one.
Yeah.
Against a young Arizona team as high as a lot of people are on them. Like you're still like Dent's had so much experience and they still retain a
Yeah.
decent amount. So yeah, they have a lot to figure out. I'm not going to say they're not going to be good, but a big story of early in college basketball has been the strength of the Big Ten, and as you stack up UCLA against a lot of these top teams, like they're not even close to being in that elite category, and so they got to figure that out fast.
Yeah, I think the Big Ten's interesting, and we'll talk about this more. But it's kind of like a lot. I mean, because it's the same way I feel about Michigan, where it's like Michigan and UCLA were touted as the two kind of next teams after, or say the Purdue. I'm sorry, Purdue, Michigan, and Illinois were obviously like the top three. Purdue being one, and then UCLA was kind of that next one. And then it seems like UCLA and Michigan might not be to that standard. Illinois might be above that standard. And then you got like Indiana has looked great, and Ohio State has looked great, who obviously we'll get to. Iowa's been good. Like there could be a surge from that kind of next group in the Big Ten that I think the conference is going to be more competitive than we thought coming in, because Wisconsin's looked great too. And it'll be interesting to see what happens there, because UCLA is. I think if they would have been able to pull this game out, if we both feel differently about it, obviously it was only a 4-point loss, but like you said, it's kind of at home, and you came into the season with a lot of expectations, and Koa Pete was bad, and they still beat you at home, and
Yeah.
they definitely, like the ending of the game, they took over for sure. Okay. Let's move on to what I think was probably the game of the weekend. BYU Uconn. Final score BYU 84, Uconn 86. I think that's a little bit closer than it actually was at the end of the game.
But like the comeback
Yeah,
was
no,
valid, though. Like
the comeback was
like
the comeback was.
Yeah, it wasn't like garbage time or anything.
Definitely. No. I don't think. I'm just like, they literally hit a buzzer beater. It was like what I was saying. Like, but AJ DeBanza is fucking awesome. Like that was the. I know UConn won, and obviously we'll talk about UConn. We'll talk about Demery. It was kind of his big breakout game. Terrace Reed has been amazing. Caravan is still exactly who we thought he was, if not better. But man, AJ DeBanza just drilling these contested mid-range jumpers down the stretch. He's got that, who he shoots like Kawhi, where it's like just those long arms, like you just can't stop his shot because he's got these long arms. He gets the ball up so high, and he's just drilling these tough jumpers in your face over and over and over. He's getting to the rim at will. It was awesome watching this game. I went back and watched, because that was obviously Ohio State was playing UCLA in football, but this was an electric performance for DeBanza, and I'd say his come out to the world like, I'm here. BYU is a force to be reckoned with, because let's not forget this game's in Boston. It's pretty much a home game for UConn. I think they were favored by over 5 points, so this was a good game for both squads, but. Nick, what did you see from the losing team BYU, and what do you think coming out of this game for them?
Yeah, like you mentioned, DeBanza was a story. He's a guy obviously from Brockton, Mass. So playing in Boston, yeah, he had a ton of family there, and a little homecoming for him, and so yeah, it was cool to see him live up, and it didn't start as smooth sailing for him. And
no.
I think one of the big things when you're a freshman is, like, he has all the skill in the world. You knew he was a tough shot maker. Like, you knew he could hit those contested mid-ranges and get his. But the poise when it wasn't going well was the big thing for me. He stayed in it. BYU went down big early, obviously, to a very good UConn team. And he was able to stay in the game and get his. And when you look at this BYU team as a whole, like, Kennard Davis obviously out with the DUI situation, and who knows like what's going to come of that. And then also Keba Keita going out early in the game. He basically, pretty much didn't play the whole game with the injury. So you're missing your best big man, and you're missing probably your best defender. And they, lost a pretty much road game against one of the best teams in the nation by 2. So
Yeah.
I think if they are able to get Davis back and who knows with Kada, like this team could be like the ceiling is
It's unreal.
so high. Yeah, that's my takeaway, and it's one of those things where this is one of those games where I think, at least me personally, bought stock in both teams. Like I was also impressed with UConn. The ability to have three
Of course.
20-point scores is
Yeah.
unbelievable. And Caravan and Silas and Reed, and they're still missing some guys too. Like these are two really, really, really good teams that I think could very well be in contention for Final Four and national championship
Definitely.
conversations if they're both, healthy and playing at their best. So yeah, it's just a very
Yeah.
high level basketball game, and yeah, Debanza, like it's this whole freshman class is unbelievable, and that's probably the biggest story of this college basketball season so far. But it's funny when you have like guys like Pete and like Amen and all these guys making headlines, and then it almost is like forgotten about the star guys too. Like we saw Boozer go
Yeah.
crazy,
Totally.
like, obviously Darren Peterson has the injury situation, which sucks, but
Yeah.
Debanza is unreal. So yeah,
Debanza is just ridiculous. From the UConn side, Terrace Reed is, I mean, through 3 games, and obviously we take those stats with a grain of salt, 2 bye games and then BYU, but he's pretty much been scoring 20 points. He's pretty much been a 20-point double-double with multiple blocks every single game, and like that is a guy that's in contention for Player of the Year come the end of the year, and Terrace Reed has never quite been that level of guy, obviously, but we're seeing it this year, and man, he was awesome in this game. This was kind of the Silas Demery, I think, breaking out party alongside the Debanza coming out party, where he goes off for 21, 5, and 7. I mean, he is awesome. He's fun to watch run around with the hair going all over the place, and yeah. No, this UConn team is. I mean, it's just like if you thought after last season, like, oh, if you were one of the idiots like me that thought after last season, like, oh, maybe you people are overhyping Dan Hurley, overhyping UConn, like maybe those 2 years were a flash in the pan and whatever. Like, yeah, they weren't. They're going to be a national championship contender this year. They're going to be a Final Four contender this year. And I think I'm already. I mean, obviously this is completely based on the results from the first couple weeks, but you definitely got to feel like they are the favorite in the Big East at the moment with how well they have played. They've completely dominated all their bye games, and now they've beat a top 10 team in Boston. So yeah, UConn's awesome. They're up to number 3 in the country. BYU is still top 10. And then we'll push to Sunday. Can we talk about Notre Dame, Ohio State, Nick?
let's do it.
Obviously, maybe not the premier top 10 matchup that you get out of a UConn BYU, but it was a standalone standalone power conference game, as John Rothstein likes to say. Notre Dame Fighting Irish, great offense. Marcus Burton, Brennan Shrewsbury, 2 of the best guards in the ACC, come into Columbus looking to take down a 3-0 Ohio State team, and guess what? They couldn't do it. As hard as Ohio State tried to lose that game, Christoph Tilley saves the day with a bucket with 15 seconds to go. Christoph Tilley then clamps up on Marcus Burton, and he comes down the floor. And man, this Ohio State team is now 4-0 with a win over Notre Dame, and I'm starting to get excited. Nick, did you have any thoughts coming out of this game about the Buckeyes or the Fighting Irish?
Yeah, I mean Bruce Thornton again continues to be, one of the best players in the nation. Like I remember I said at preseason that he was one of the best guards in the Big Ten and in the country, to be honest, and he's a real All-American contender, and he's being even above that. Like he's a Player of the Year contender at this point with how lethal they are. And yeah, it was a different style of game that Ohio State obviously had to play.
Yeah.
Being that I guess it's their first power conference team they played too, but the last possession was interesting to me when you are struggling on offense for the majority of the game, and Micah Shrewsbury as a coach is almost known for his, drawing up plays and getting guys looks out of timeouts, and he just chose not to call a timeout. Yeah.
I think he went home. How many times they had multiple they left with, right? Like
Yeah.
it was the most absurdly stupid decision of all time.
Yeah. And I just watched the highlight. Like, I didn't watch the game flow, so obviously you know more than me, but that seemed very dumb for that position, especially with the game Burton was having, where he wasn't really seeming to get in a rhythm outside of getting.
No, he was bad.
You got to be able to win ugly, and they did this game again. Like, learning how to win in different ways, I think is great, and Thornton just continuing to put together an unbelievable season. Like, he has unreal stats right now, and his shot making is
awesome.
Insane. So, they have their guys with him and Tilly really having a good 1-2 punch going right now, and obviously you still have Mobley, who's a lethal shooter as well. It's a good thing going right now, and the ability to win different is big, and I think you have to throw Ohio State in a deep Big Ten, but they're right there, like probably in that second to bottom first tier type of team.
Yeah. They've been a lot of fun to watch. I've been at every game so far. I'd say biggest takeaway for this squad, Bruce Thornton is all American, and like you said, a National Player of the Year candidate probably. Like I'll tell you what the biggest difference is for him this year is he is so confident from three, and he is just like taking threes when he gets them, and he's drilling them, and like. He is just such an elite shooter. It's really absurd how quality of a shot maker he is. And then Christoph Tilly, man, Ohio State fans, obviously this is no one, it's probably not exactly Ohio State basketball podcast, but anyone who's been paying attention for the last few years has known like Ohio State hasn't really had a center since, like almost 5-6 years ago. Like it was, a lot of E.J. Liddell starting at the 5 last time Ohio State was good. It was Devin Royal starting at the 5 last year down the stretch, which is just not acceptable. And, you bring in a guy like even Yvonne, and Yvonne is just a complete non-factor for Ohio State. He's like the hands made of rocks. Like he can't contribute. So he was kind of nothing for them last year, and he looks to be nothing again. But Christoph Tilly is amazing, and he is so capable with the ball in his hands. He's so capable putting the ball on the floor. Like even that game winner that he had, it's not just like he got the ball at the rim and put it up. It's like he got the ball on the move, over his head, one dribble, finishes through contact. He has been a revelation for Ohio State. He's been their second best player, and him and Thornton. I mean, Devin Royal didn't have his best game, but he's coming back from an injury, so I'm not going to hold it against him because he's been great for us so far. If Mobley's hitting his shots, man, this team's good. The depth is going to be a real problem down the stretch here. I mean, Gabe Cupps off the bench for Ohio State has been great on defense and very high energy and very intense, which is super important, and it's a great guy to have off your bench. But the problem is they don't have anyone that can score the ball past the starting 5. So I'm a little worried about that. But I'm gonna give myself license to be optimistic. We're 4-0. This was say what you will about Notre Dame. I mean, they're not Uconn, obviously, but like this is a real test. Like that's a team that could go to the tournament theoretically, and like as we know, any team could. But that's a real power conference team with some real top end talent in Burton and Shrewsbury, and like Shrewsbury took 7 shots in this game. Like he was not getting what he wanted. Burton went 3 of 14 from the field. Gabe Cupps had Marcus Burton in hell. Like it was legit impressive how well he was guarding him. So yeah, I'm pumped. It was a lot of fun to watch. And also like it was not a perfect game for Ohio State either. Like I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like their offense was not great. And like down the stretch, they didn't score a point for the last 3 minutes up to the point, last 4 minutes up to the point where Tilly scored the game winner. So like that's unacceptable. And the offense has to be better, and a lot of guys need to step up other than Thornton and Tilly. But I'm gonna let myself be excited here on the pod, and it's looking good for Ohio State. I'm excited about Ohio State. All right, let's push on to another power conference matchup, but maybe a little higher stakes here with Houston going down to Auburn, narrowly escaping with a win after an Auburn first couple games where we question, are they even does gonna be like a tournament team down the stretch? Like, Nick, what do you think here with Auburn almost beating Houston?
Yeah, I'm not that low on this Auburn team after that performance. Like, Keyshawn Hall's that guy, and I listened to the pod with you and Bryce the other day, and you guys were almost burying Auburn.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, maybe we're jumping the gun a little too much. Like, it's still a pretty damn good team, and they were still 3-0 at the time. But yeah, it's Keyshawn Hall is one of the best players in the Big 12. Kevin Overton, one of the best players in the Big 12. Like, Tahad Pettiford hasn't gotten off to the start that we all thought he would, but he's just dropped 15 points against a Houston defense is unbelievable. So to be competitive in this game, I think is massive. Obviously, it's basically a home game being in Birmingham. Great arena. I've been there for a couple games at Legacy Arena. Had some great memories there. But yeah, for Houston though, like it's the year of the freshman again, where Kingston Flemings and Chris Sinak, they were the best players on the court this game, and we're the two 5-star freshmen coming in, and it's to do that in a Calvin Sampson system too, where it's a lot of development and a lot of wait your turn. Like, it just goes to show just how good these guys are. They can come in right away and kind of beat the two guys. Where like Miles Uzan and Emmanuel Sharp and JoJo Tugler are playing around him, which is crazy, and they were as good as advertised. So, you're gonna probably get better play with, like, Uzan's always been a second half type of player. Like, in season one, he'll get better as he goes. So, Houston by stock and Auburn better than I thought they were preseason. Again, to lose by one on technically a neutral. And really, like, Auburn should have won this game. Like, they missed 12 free throws. Yeah. Like, if they hit two more of those, that's a win. So that's
totally.
I don't know. I guess Houston's defense is a little bit of figuring out to be able to let Keyshawn Hall do that to him, but and I guess not to foul, but
Keyshawn Hall is just that guy, though. I don't know if it's like he is so legit. Like, UCF was obviously not that great last season, but that doesn't mean that he wasn't a great player. And also is sometimes I think we bury guys who, like, put up big numbers on bad teams, and I did this a little bit with Stojakovic coming into the season, who's been awesome so far, and so I'll take a step back and I'll say, like, just because you weren't on a winning team doesn't mean you're not a winning player. So, like, good for him. He looks awesome. I mean, he's playing absurdly well. He's probably been one of the best players in the country so far this season. He's shooting like 25 points a game on 50, 50, 90. So I obviously don't think that's going to last, but he's been awesome. Big win for big loss for Auburn. Obviously only losing by one to Houston in this one. Big loss. Huge loss. Yeah, I actually think I learned more about Auburn in this one. No. Purdue. Akron goes to Purdue. I picked that as like a sneaky upset on the last two pods, and obviously that didn't happen. But sometimes you just got to shoot one. You got to fire one off, just in case.
Shooting your shot on a 20, what was it, like a 20-point spread or something like that?
19,
It is what it is.
Yeah.
If it happened, it's a no-loss
They did cover, so.
It's a no-loss situation.
It is a no-loss situation.
Because it's like...
And it is like, can you imagine? If it actually happened.
It's no risk, no reward.
Exactly. And that's what we do here at the mid-range. We're a big no-risk, high-reward podcasts over here. All right, Nick, let's move on from the games that have happened, unless there's anything specific you want to talk about. Give you the opportunity.
I mean, not really. The only other big, I guess, NC State last night, or we can talk Florida, Miami. But I mean, none of those like
Oh
directly.
yeah, Florida, Miami.
So
Yeah, I thought Miami would give them a better fight, honestly.
yeah,
Florida just
it was
kind of
kind of
killed
a
them.
big get back, like, hey,
Yeah,
reminder, we're still the Natty Champs type of game.
for sure.
But yeah, it scares me because TCU plays them in a couple weeks, and uh, it's again
Plays
like
Florida.
like you're playing
Yeah.
you just played the Michigan front court, and you're going against like maybe the only
Yeah.
other court that's better. So
Yeah.
that should be fun for
Yeah.
us. But
Yeah.
yeah, like Florida, even though they won this game by 14, yeah, I was higher on Miami too. I thought they'd give them a better shot, but Xavier Lee and Boogie Flance still aren't
I was just
working
gonna
out.
say that it is like kind of insane
Yeah,
how bad they've been. Like it's
yeah,
like both of
they
them
like
have been so bad.
yeah,
Like,
and specifically Lee, like maybe the jump
yeah.
from Princeton to Florida is a little bit bigger than we took,
Yeah.
but
I
yeah,
mean, maybe
because
same for Dent too, because like obviously everyone was just so ready to crown him, including me. Like you're like
yeah,
maybe it's hard to go from the Mountain West
yeah,
or whatever. I think
and it
yeah
sucks
to
though
the
because you
Big
just
Ten.
saw,
Or,
but then again you take like Walter Clayton and Will Richard and Elijah Martin who
right,
all came from
right,
small majors and they did it
yeah.
effortlessly. So yeah, I think it's such a case by case
Yeah.
basis with
This is
guys,
why it's such a
but
ridiculous sport because it's just
yeah,
like you can do the exact
yeah,
same process 100 different times and it's going to be a completely different
yeah.
result. Like
And
because
it's
yeah,
so
there's no reason.
related. Yeah,
Yeah, no, definitely.
it's funny. Um, but
But
that's
maybe
what
maybe TCU can challenge like similarly to how they challenged Michigan.
they're a
Let's not
very
count them
similar
out.
team to Michigan. They're a very similar team to Michigan.
I'm just saying. But
Um,
this will be at Florida, right?
no, this is neutral. This is in San
The
Diego.
ATO or whatever.
Rady
Oh,
Children's. It's the Feast Week tournament.
nice.
It's them winning
I'm
the
pumped for
winner
Feast
or
Week.
the loser of.
I'm definitely ready to have some awesome games on all the time.
Yeah, we're a week away.
College. I fucking love college basketball, man. It's so awesome. All right. Let's power forward. We hit our kind of review stuff. Let's go into the games for this week. A few big ones. Tonight, because I am going to post this podcast today, so we'll still talk about it.
Champions Classic.
Champions Classic, Michigan State, who obviously we know won the championship super recently.
Yeah,
So
with a
it's
lot
a
of
thing.
teams that these teams have not won a lot of championships in a while. Like Kansas was the most recent one.
Yeah.
Kentucky, a
Yeah.
decade ago. Like maybe we
Yeah.
should refresh some of these teams, but
Yeah.
here we are.
No, it is what it is. I mean, Michigan State, Kentucky. Where are these games at? Oh, at MSG. Yeah.
MSG.
So we got Kentucky is favored in this one, but Michigan State is obviously coming off a big win against Arkansas. Kentucky's coming off a loss against Louisville. Kentucky's still ranked higher. Nick, what do you see here with Michigan UK tonight at 6:30 p.m.?
Michigan State, UK.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
State Michigan.
it's one of those things where I don't love either of these teams early on in the year. Like I think Kentucky's still working through injury,
Yeah.
and like Lowe hasn't been as good, and they're still waiting for JQ to come back, and
Low
so I don't love that.
sucks.
But then Michigan State, it's like they've danced around, and I don't know how much a win over Arkansas is worth at this point. I'm probably going to take the more expensive roster and the talent with Kentucky to pull
Yeah.
this up pretty convincingly because they should have enough depth, and Oweh should be able to play better. And then
He sucks. Too.
for Kansas and Duke, like it's one of those things where it's DP is out
It's a
for
bummer.
the foreseeable
Yeah.
future with the hamstring, and as we've talked about over and over again, their reliance on him, like he's the entire team in Duke with Boozer's play of late, is like they're gonna roll in that game.
Man, if Peterson misses 5 games, this is gonna be real bad for
Yeah,
Kansas.
and
I mean,
you know a
they like
hamstring. Like it's
Yeah,
he very
yeah.
well
You got to
could.
be careful. Yeah, Kansas should be like quaking a little bit. Like, oh shit, like we're
Yeah.
gonna be in a tough spot here because I will say if DP was playing tonight, I would have had a little spiel for why I think that they might have a better chance
Yeah.
than you think. But there's just no point in even trying to act like there's like. And then now I'm sure they'll win. But yeah,
Yeah.
Duke's probably gonna kill Kansas tonight, I think, and I do think Kentucky probably wins. That's gonna be an ugly game, man. Kentucky. Both these teams are just gross. Kentucky's gross. Like that Jalen Lowe is just gross. Like he is just not fun to watch for me. Like watching him play is just like the most like inefficient, like ugly basketball. Like and seeing him being across the floor from Mikael Brown, who also got injured, I think, in that game was like, this is like the most beautiful basketball I've ever seen. And then the other guy's just like constantly doing like the last thing I want him to do. And
Yeah. They almost
yeah,
have too
I don't
many
know about
guys.
Kentucky. What?
I said they almost have too many guys where it's like,
Yeah,
yes, they have the most expensive roster, but like if that roster is not going to guys you fit, and again, this is
right.
probably an overreaction. Like they lost one game at Louisville, and
Yeah.
they'll probably be Michigan State.
We're not burying
But yeah,
Kentucky. It's just.
yeah, no, I'm just, but yeah, it's valid concerns that when you have too many guys, I mean, you might not have one at all, and I guess Oweh's kind of the guy, but and I guess wait and see until JQ comes back to
Yeah.
really give a full judgment of this team, but yeah, nothing has kind of blown me away.
Yeah, Owe might be the guy, or he might be a complete non-factor because he has not been great this year either.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not burying Kentucky. I think they're probably a top 15 team, and they're probably still going to compete in the SEC. But it's like I can tell you what I have learned about Kentucky is that I'm not going to be watching them unless they're playing Michigan. So this game is going to suck so bad. Like there's no way this game is going to be fun to watch. This is just a guaranteed gross. Yeah, just disgusting. It's going to be like 60 to 62 or yeah, I'm not looking forward to this. But I will be watching, and then I will watch Kansas Duke after, and I'm sure Cam Boozer will go off. But let's move past that disgusting matchup, and let's go to something that's a couple games that are just going to be damn fun to watch. You got Arizona, Uconn playing in Connecticut. Wildcats 4-0, the Huskies 4-0. It's a top 4 matchup. I'm so excited for this one, Nick. What do you think here? How do you see this game going?
Yeah, and as high as I've been on UConn, I think the true road environment here, which is the first again true road environment that these freshmen of Arizona have ever played in, and Dan Hurley's coaching with a lot of guys he's familiar with, that scares me, to be honest, and
Yeah.
I don't trust Delhi.
So as high as you are on Arizona, you mean?
Yeah, I think UConn wins by a decent margin. I don't want to say double digits, but semi-convincingly. I just think UConn's at this moment in time a better team, which is probably unfair because Zona's beaten the reigning national championship and one of the biggest blue bloods in the country in a semi-away game. But I'm really bought into this UConn team. I think even more.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just trust her. I feel like Hurley's got that in him right now, and he's kind of on demon mode where, he'd taken it out on UMass Lowell, beating them by 63 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like it's, they're on a different level right now.
They're pissed. He's coaching pissed, and they look awesome. Did you see his interview with Goodman after the game?
Yes, it was great. They broke the Cold War.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Yeah, I will say
Goodman's going to be in stores, too, for this game.
What'd you say?
Goodman's going to be in stores for this game, too, so they might do another interview.
Perfect. I can't wait. Yeah, I'll probably. I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, I think you kind of have to pick UConn here. It's at home, and Arizona has obviously, like you said, beat the reigning champ, beat another top 20, top 15 team away from home. But I think this is probably where their strong start runs into a stronger start. And, there's no shame in losing to Uconn in Connecticut. And there's a lot of credit if you go in there and you win, then this Arizona team deserves to be talked about really. Right there with Purdue. If they win this game, I will say that right now. And if they, it's gonna be an awesome game. I'm really pumped for that one. And then I'm almost even more excited for the game that comes after it, which is gonna be just a lot of baskets and a lot of fun. Alabama, Illinois at the United Center, so in Chicago. So essentially a home game for Illinois, but technically not in Champaign.
Semi-away.
Semi-home. Semi-home game for Illinois. Alabama going to town. I'm going to just say right now, Nick, I know Illinois got a big win over Tech. I know Alabama lost to Purdue. But I'm going to take the Crimson Tide in this one. In Chicago, I think LeBaron Philon is going to be firing on all cylinders, coming off a tough game against Purdue. I think Illinois is not a particularly strong defense that you need to focus your efforts on, and I think he's going to be able to dice them up. And if they want to play, I think Alabama can play their game, and I think this game's going to end at 100-90, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But I'm going to take Alabama in this one.
Here's the thing, though. Illinois can play that game, too, where their offense is just as good, if almost better.
Totally.
And, this is obviously a massive factor, but Tomislav Ivičić could be back. I think he's a game-time decision. And I would honestly expect him to play with this type of game. And I think Illinois is just a better team than Bama as of right now, just going through less transition. I think that being at relatively home is better. And as much as I love Philon and what Bama can do, again, I think Illinois wins semi-convincingly. Because Tomislav. And also, Kylan Boswell is one of the most underrated guards in the country. The step he's taken this year to kind of command that team and get him going. Kylan Boswell, legit. And, I don't want to say any crazy takes, but, Kylan
you're off a crazy take. Well, what would you, okay, what would you say if you were to drop a crazy take?
Second best guard in the conference, but then I don't know if I believed it.
Let's say it's third.
Yeah, Thornton, BT, KB.
Thornton's got to be number 2 at this point.
Yeah, but Kylan Boswell's a stud, where he's like a star now, and if he can play,
no, he's awesome. He was awesome in that game against Tech for sure.
Yeah.
Tech, Nick, you are you feeling a little validated with them already having taken an L? And JT Toppin drops 35 points and they lose. That's pretty much exactly what you said.
Exactly. Him and Christian Anderson are their team, and they need a Lawan Watts to step up. But even he, for WCC watchers, he wasn't that great last year. And I don't know. It really is just those two guys, and I feel like as much as everybody knows Toppin and Anderson, they're gonna get theirs, but it's not gonna matter. You saw what D5 did in NC State's win at VCU yesterday. D5, I'm telling you, there's something different about players from the Bay Area where it's they have a different grit to them and out the mud
for
type
sure
vibe.
Well, just like us.
Yeah, exactly. And no one breeds NBA talent like the Bay Area does. And I think Darren Williams is right there, and he was by far he wasn't, because Toppin was Big 12 Player of the Year and really good, but he was probably their most important player last year, because he handled the ball and kind of facilitated all that kind of stuff, and that's not even a bit because he's a Bay guy. He was legitimately.
No, I know. I just love the he's not the best player, but he's the most important player. It just is cracks me up generally.
Okay,
Yeah.
He actually was the best player last year.
Yeah, there you
Toppin had
go.
better
Yeah.
stats. Like
There
he
you go.
legitimately was. Like he was the engine that drove that
Yeah.
team. Like Toppin has you know those guys in the league that have like a ton of rebounds and you're like I don't even know like how the hell they got those. Like that's Toppin
Yeah.
where he's great at like kind of
Oh.
cleaning up and you know solid
Yeah.
post moves, but like he's not this like superstar like you know
Yeah.
you're going to bed at 8 p.m. before you got to guard Steph Curry. You're going to get to bed at 8 p.m. before you guard You're going
I saw
to the
this clip. I just saw that clip.
You're having a couple glasses of red wine before you like you can go out before you play JT Toppin. He's not
Oh,
shivering
shit.
in that quality. Like again, good
Oh,
player.
Nick. You're going hard. We're going to have to clip that. We're going to have to clip that.
That's how I genuinely feel though. Like
Yeah.
he's amazing, but like not maybe as amazing as you might think. Where it's
He's like the game ends and it's like, holy shit, he had 30 and 10. I didn't even
exactly. He's
Like, yeah.
that guy. He'll get all like
Yeah.
solid post moves, great at finishing, great inside, but like you're not like, oh my god, I got to guard JT Toppin.
No, a couple glasses of red wine.
Yeah.
Steak
Like, if you're-
dinner.
Okay, be honest. If you're guarding Darren Williams, you're on a road trip. You're in beautiful.
Oh, I'd be in the hotel. I'd be probably asleep by 8 p.m.
Yeah, you're taking melatonin. You're having warm tea. You're up early. You know, grinding tape. Like you got Toppin. You know, you're enjoying the city.
Yeah. If you got Toppin, you might have a girl over that night. You know, you're having
Yeah,
a good
you don't know.
time.
And then you can still
You're
be
not
fine.
I love that. And just to be clear, let's look at JT Toppin's stats on the.
Yeah,
That's why we're talking.
That's my point.
24, 12, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block on 56% shooting. But it's not the same as
But
D5.
you defend Tech like this year, where it's you're gonna let Toppin get his, and you're gonna be fine with it.
That actually is true.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
you
the
are
thing
right.
with
Like,
a lot of NBA games where it's like
yeah,
it's a bad example to use Jokic, but like Jokic is gonna get his, I guess, because the Nuggets are your
Right.
team. But like on those, like when Luka's on a bad team, like when you're defending the Lakers, like Luka's.
well, like
gonna get
Cam
his,
Thomas is like a good example.
Yes,
Like Cam Thomas will
Or
go
like
out there and have
cool
40
Wizards.
points. Yeah.
Yeah, I should probably use a big man as an example, but you know what I mean, where it's like you're fine if he drops 30, because it's, I don't know, it's what he's gonna
Now
do.
you just got me ruminating. Well, here's a good one. Sabonis. It's like Sabonis.
Yeah. That's kind of how
And
they
on that
awarded
note-
kind of that series.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, actually, Sabonis is like terrible. I mean, he's like dog shit. So
A
that
little
might
like
surprise
Wemby.
me.
Like Draymond did a great job on Wemby the other night, and Wemby still had his. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know,
Like
that dunk video, like that basket didn't
It
even
didn't count.
Like, it was
Everybody-
like this like
can we talk
viral
about that?
clip, and everyone's like making fun
Yeah.
of Draymond. It's like there's plenty of ways to make fun of Draymond on baskets that actually counted. You don't pick the one that didn't count. Like
Everyone's saying like he alpha Draymond in that situation because it's a clip-based league. Like if you watch the game,
yeah.
Draymond did a very good job on. Wemby had 8 turnovers that one game against him.
Yeah.
Like it's,
Yeah.
I don't know. He did. It's narratives these days, man. Clip-based leagues.
And I don't. And you gotta ask. You gotta
Stats
ask. It's
people.
like, why does everyone hate Draymond too? It's not like he ever did anything wrong.
Yeah, it's not like he's. Yeah, never done anything wrong.
Never done anything wrong. Squeaky clean record. All right. Well, that's the pod. Nick, thank you for joining me today. This is like an early morning pod for us. 2 p.m. We're done. I'm gonna put it out immediately. And, you know, make sure to listen to it before before Duke starts or what? Before before Michigan State in 3 hours.
Yeah.
It might or just skip that part. Either way. But I appreciate everybody who listened. Obviously, the Mid-Range CBB on all socials. Weiss Jacob
shout out to
04 on X
WCC.
for me. Shout out to WCC.
Best WCC of all time. Got better without BYU.
I don't
We'll
know.
have that conversation
2019.
another day, but
2019.
I mean, Gonzaga's number one in Ken Palm.
I know.
St. Mary's.
Gonzaga. Oh, we should talk about. We should do a whole episode about Gonzaga because they're fucking awesome. So,
Yeah, let's. We need a WCC episode because, like, unbiasedly,
I'm actually, yeah.
Gales are really good too.
Santa Clara was really good.
Santa Clara is very good. Like,
We should do a
even,
whole
like,
episode just on Santa Clara. It's like,
genuinely, like, I mean, they're kind of cheap.
pretty great story.
From I mean, they're getting all the 25-year-old pros, but
Yeah.
they are good.
Yeah, but they're pumping
But
out
even, like,
NBA
you mentioned,
guys
like,
on the side too.
Yeah, the bottom is good. Like you mentioned, Pepperdine played UCLA close, and nobody probably cares about the WCC, but like LMU's decent. Like you saw Stan Johnson hitting the running man in the locker room after the game. Like vibes are high there. It's like you see the clip.
Yeah. Oregon State. I did not see the clip. You gotta send me that one over.
Yeah, just look up LMU basketball. I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah,
do that.
WCC legitimately top. Are they better than the Big East? Do you want to have that conversation another day?
I mean, the Big East might be bad. Like Marquette might suck. I mean, Georgetown's decent at least. I guess they're kind of switching out Georgetown but Xavier's terrible. Villanova's not that great. Like, it's not looking great. Providence sucks. It's not great for the Big East.
Thing after every game. I thought it was just the running man.
All right,
Yeah,
send it
LMU's got
over.
good vibes.
Now I want
right
to see
now.
it. Now I do want to see
They
it.
do a celebration every game. like the WCC, like I don't think we're ready right now. I don't think we're ready right now. But there's a conversation to be had whether the WCC is a better conference this year than the Big East.
Let's
and on
say.
that note,
On that note, thank you everybody so much for listening. Please subscribe to the Mid-Range. I love you all very much. Nick, thank you for joining me. Adios.